Peter Thiel again. He works for Palantir. He's financing J.D. Vance. Peter Thiel, who was saying, oh, he was just getting legal advice from Jeffrey Epstein. Peter Thiel gave J.D. Vance $15 million and turned him from a senator. He was a senator for 2 years, came up with a fake name. J.D. Vance is not his real name. He was in the Skull and Bones fraternity at Yale University, which is like a weird eyes wide shut Illuminati Freemason type thing. And now he's J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance went from being a never Trumper to the vice president. Peter Thiel is at the forefront of Palantir, which is a contractor for the CIA. It's developing spyware. He gives and takes a lot of money to Israel.
I met Epstein a few times as well. It was Reid Hoffman in Silicon Valley introduced us in 2014. I do think Epstein knew a lot about taxes. I think Epstein might have known a decent amount about.
How, when you were introduced to him?
I don't think Epstein would have been able to, comment on superstring theory or something like that. Right. But I think this sort of thing he might have actually been pretty expert on.
When you were introduced to him, how was he described to you?
He was described as one of the smartest tax people in the world.
Some of the emails where Jeffrey Epstein is talking about how the Jews make money through accounting. This is Brett Ratner. He directed the 2026 documentary Melania, featuring Melania Trump. Emails from 2011 show that Jeffrey Epstein had an associate named Greg Brown discuss plans to extort Libyan officials and seize state assets under the pretext of helping rebuild the country with involvement from former MI6 and Mossad. The correspondence took place during the Libya civil war. Weeks before Muammar Gaddafi was removed from power, indicating the plans were devised while the regime was still under control. You remember Gaddafi was one of the first African leaders to want to separate from the Fed. He wanted to develop his own bank. They assassinated him. I also have friends formerly with MI6 and Mossad willing to help identify stolen assets and get them recovered. It's an email to Jeffrey Epstein. All right, I guess that's just a coincidence too. Rest in peace, Gaddafi. I think this was today from Trump. Let's see what he says about Epstein.
Mr. President, is Vice President Vance hosting a gathering this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
I don't know. I could ask you that question. I don't know of it, but I think here's the man right here.
I saw a reporter today, and it's completely fake news. We're not meeting to talk about the Epstein.
Oh, it's fake news? Okay, ask Peter Thiel. Hey, J.D. Vance, ask Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel gave you $15 million. He said that he met with Jeffrey Epstein for tax information. You believe that, J.D. Vance? J.D. Vance, in 2021, you said that we need these Epstein files released. Now you're saying that it's a complete hoax. It's made up by the left. Let me bring up that tweet. A video is going viral showing J.D. Vance calling for the full Epstein
release the list. Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list.
Oh,
and I think the reporter who reported it needs to get better sources.
Look, the whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because we've had the most successful 6 months in the history.
You believe that this is a liberal hoax? Trump, if this was a liberal hoax, then why didn't they release this during the campaign when they wanted to get Kamala elected? It was never released when the Democrats were in charge because the Democrats are implicated too. It's not a right-left issue. And this is why you can't show allegiance to any political party, because they're all implicated. The whole government, top to bottom, they've all been compromised. They're all blackmailed. This whole system.
And that's just a way of trying to divert attention to something that's total bullshit.
And now it's shown that Netanyahu is planning his seventh visit, not in Trump's entire presidency, but just in this term. He's going to come to Mar-a-Lago. What they're doing right now is they're applying pressure. They have way more. And best believe, if we, America, if we don't go to war with Iran or Israel, they're going to release everything. This is a threat. This shows that we're an occupied nation. We are occupied by Israel, and this is why they're giving little feeders out.